Hello, fellow peasants. Today I'll be reviewing 1987's Lethal Weapon. Alright guys, I watched Lethal Weapon. This has been on my radar for years and years and years. This is my first time watching the classic film Lethal Weapon. I can't believe it. I'm nearly 40 years old and it took me till 2025 to finally check out this Mel Gibson, Danny Glover classic. What's it about? Well, basically, the movie kicks off with this young girl doing some coke, jumps off a balcony, commits suicide, lands on a car, and some cops got to figure out what's going on. Who did this? Who's behind this? Is it a drug ring? So Mel Gibson plays a cop who just lost his wife. He's struggling with suicidal thoughts. He's also a Vietnam War vet. And so he's like unhinged a bit. He's just wild. He's out there. He has no fucks left to give. And he's a loose cannon. He's a wild, unpredictable cop. Well, he gets reassigned, and he gets put on the case with Danny Glover, who is a 50-year-old, more seasoned professional in the field, and he doesn't have time to deal with this bullshit. You know what I mean? But so him and Mel Gibson are kind of at odds because Danny Glover is very much a by the book. Let's take it nice and easy. I've been doing this for a while. I'm tired. I'm too old for this shit, he likes to say in the movie. And Mel Gibson is very much a shoot from the hip. Fuck it. Let's just do it this way. Let's get the job done no matter how it needs to get done type of guy. And they're at odds for most of the film until the moment that Danny Glover's daughter gets taken by the drug lord guys. And that's when they kind of go, okay, shit's for real. Let's take care of this. Let's kill all these motherfuckers. And yeah. And so what do I like? What do I not like about Lethal Weapon? What I like about Lethal Weapon is the comedy and the character building. Like, I love them playing off one another. I love Danny Glover is the more experienced cop, the older cop, the more serious cop, the whatever, let's just get it done. It's done. It looks good enough on the surface. It looks like we got it done. But then Mel Gibson's like, no, something's different about this. Something doesn't seem right about this. Let's look more into this. Danny Glover's just kind of like, he's kind of checking out. He's like kind of over the whole detective thing and the, you know, because there's a moment in the movie where they're hanging out on a boat in front of Danny Glover's house, and he's like, looks good to me. I like nice and easy. And Mel Gibson's like, I don't know. Something's not right about this. So I think it's too easy. It's too easy, you know, and too simple. And he wants to look more into it. And so I like that they kind of push each other to be a better person in the film. And I love Mel Gibson's character. Like, I love Mel Gibson's wild-ass character, and he just does not give a shit in this movie. He has nothing to lose. He's already lost his wife. He's been through Vietnam. And he's a badass in this movie, man. I mean, not only is he like, does he have a great mentality for at least a cop in a movie. You probably don't want cops to be this unhinged in real life. And then just like, he's like ex-special forces. So he knows like jiu-jitsu and shit. He's got like a black belt or whatever. That's why he's like called Lethal Weapon. You know, Danny Glover cracks a joke at one point in the parking garage. He's like, I guess we could like assign you as you should be considered a lethal weapon or whatever. And yeah, so badass character that Mel Gibson plays. The acting in here is excellent. That goes hand in hand with the comedy here. They play off one another very well. There's a moment where Danny Glover or Mel Gibson is like, you don't trust me, do you? And Danny Glover's like, do you really like my wife's cooking? And Mel Gibson's like, no. And Danny Glover in that moment kind of trusts Mel Gibson a little more because Danny Glover doesn't like his wife's cooking, you know? One thing I did notice, this isn't like really a positive or a negative. This is just something I noticed. Like, this film is also another action movie that takes place in Los Angeles during Christmas, similar to Die Hard. I don't know if they did this on purpose to match Die Hard. I think, wait, when did Die Hard came out in 86 or 88? I can't remember. Actually, I don't know which one came first. I think Die Hard came out first. I think Die Hard came out in 86. I could be wrong. I think Lethal Weapon came out after Die Hard. But either way, interesting for there to be two action movies in LA around Christmas time. What else do I like? I like the back half of the film. I like that it slowly ratchets up. It introduces you to the characters. It lets you understand the characters, their backgrounds, their lives, and it slowly ramps up. Like, because at first, I won't lie, like the beginning of the film, you're just like, okay, what are the stakes here? What are we really doing? Who's the bad guy? Is the bad guy really even that bad? And then, like I said, the turning point in the film really is when they take Danny Glover's daughter. Then it's just like all bets are off, and they both just want to like kill as many motherfuckers as possible. And that's really the turning point in the film for me. I just like that it slowly, at first, you know, you could go either way. You could say it's a negative that not much really happens in terms of building up the bad guys until that point. But I do like that they do take their time, and it slowly ratchets until the end. Like the film just gets more and more intense as it goes. It's almost like a slow burn. Usually slow burn is like a term used in horror films. But I really think that Lethal Weapon is kind of a slow burn film, because it starts out like very much like a drama, a lot of dialogue, not a lot happening. And then by the end, you've got helicopter chases, you've got car chases, you've got Mel Gibson doing a jiu-jitsu fight in the water outside, and not Mel Gibson's, but Danny Glover's front yard, like a badass like karate fight in the front yard at the end. Like it just gets more and more intense as it goes, and so I like that. I guess we'll get into the negatives. The negatives are, I do think it is a slight negative that it is a bit slow at the beginning. I will say that. Not slow, I take it back. It's not that it's slow, it's just you don't understand the stakes until halfway through. Like they don't take his daughter until like the last 30-40 minutes of the film. Okay, and it's an hour 49-minute runtime, so it's almost 2 hours long. And up until that point, there's not really high stakes. It's more of like a Miami Vice episode where they're just trying to like figure out who these drug dealers are and bring them down. You know what I mean? And local corruption with politicians and businessmen and things like that. There's not really high stakes involved until his daughter gets taken. I can appreciate the slow burn. Like I said, that is a positive. But you really don't feel like, wow, these are bad motherfuckers that we're dealing with until over halfway through the movie. So it's kind of a catch-22. It's a positive, it's a negative, you know, but other negatives. I don't know, guys. I think the ending could have been a bit better. I think there are some unexplained things. There are things that it's just like, I don't really buy, you know? Like, there's so many people in the movie that they'll walk in a room and just blow their head off. But then when it comes to the big players, like Gary Busey's character, they spare him at the very end, you know? Like, he's like, break his fucking neck. And he's like, he's not worth it. Like, what do you mean he's not worth it? He's not worth the losing the badge. I mean, like, you killed everyone else got their brains blown out with no questions asked, right? Just bam, 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 bam. Like, at one point, he walks into a bar, Mel Gibson does, and just shoots one of the bad guys and just keeps walking. No questions asked. But Gary Busey somehow gets this special treatment at the end for whatever reason. Like as soon as he had the chance to shoot Gary Busey, like, he had a shot at killing him At the house. As soon as they show up to the house, Gary Busey shows up to Danny Glover's house at the end to kill his family. But they're not there or whatever. And then Mel Gibson shows up, puts a gun right to his face. It's like, come out in the front yard. Just shoot him. Just shoot him in the face. But, you know, I don't know. I've never seen any of the other films either. So I don't know if like he was saved so he could come back in a sequel. Is he in the sequels? Is Gary Busey in the sequels? Does he get out of prison? What happens? I don't know. But yeah, that was a negative. There were just some decisions made that I feel like were plot armor for some people. All in all, I thought it was really good. I had no expectations really. I mean, I knew this was a popular film. I knew this is like considered one of the greatest action cop buddy films of all time. But I didn't really have like high expectations or anything like that. So I just kind of went in there just going, okay, let's see what this is about. And I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. It's a film that like keeps sticking in my head. Like after I watched it, I keep thinking about it. And usually those are the ones that I end up buying. And this just came out on 4K recently. So I might ask for this for Christmas or my birthday or something. Because I really enjoyed it. And the 4K scan looks excellent from the comparisons I've seen online. So, but that's it, guys. That's what I think about Lethal Weapon. If I were to rate Lethal Weapon on a 1 to 10, I would give Lethal Weapon a solid like 8.5 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. It's a great action film. They do not make action films like this anymore. All right, guys. Have a good one, peasants. Peace out. Bye-bye.